Welcome into another episode of the CALIVEGAN podcast, guys. Today we are going to roast carnivores because it is crazy how much hate these people, put into veganism. There's so much brainwashing, and I think today I want to get it off my chest and try to roast them, even though they roast themselves. But as always, today is push. And I have changed the hard band for these three ones, the medium, like small one, and a super small one, which it is a lot lighter. It is a lot of less help compared to the hard band. But last week I did 7 repetitions with the hard one, so I think it makes sense to make progress this week. Trying to keep it clean, 3 repetitions. Oh, yeah, I think this feels about right. So let's go straight into the number 1 argument that these people go to when it comes to attacking vegans, because I have a head. I had a conversation in the comment with a guy, he came, don't you realize, all the animals that you kill in plant farming, right? So trying to make me, or trying to highlight the hypocrisy in me wanting to be vegan and not harming animals, because there is some animal death in the production of my food or in my lifestyle, whatever. And I'm gonna tell you this, this is straight hate from moment 1. You need to be very stupid, like highly, highly stupid, to believe what you say. All right? Thinking that veganism is not better for the animals compared to, how the majority is behaving towards animals, you gotta be mad stupid to think that. So, and there is a lot of dumb people out there, so probably some of them don't really manage to connect the point. But often I believe these people is just trying to make you feel bad, but they don't have any intention of making the world a better place or actually caring about animals. Because you would say, when they say vegans kill animals too, or some people say even vegans kill more animals, which is stupid, and I'll explain why now. They don't want to do anything good. They're not trying to say, okay, my lifestyle is better. No, they're just trying to point out the hypocrisy that you as a vegan are practicing, because there are these deaths related to your lifestyle, and therefore you should just shut up and let them be whatever they are, which we never do it. We keep annoying non-vegans because veganism is the right thing to do. But the first like absurd thing about saying that as a vegan, you kill more animals than killing a cow is just within the sentence. How does not killing animals killing more animals? I mean, this is crazy, right? Oh yeah. So the sentence is stupid in itself, right? Now, then what usually carnivores and anti-vegans do is pointing at the fact that plant agriculture will use pesticides, and there will be crop deaths because of the big tractors that collect the food, and because farmers will kill all the animals around in order to protect their fields. So here's the thing. So some people will completely ignore the fact that all the animals in the animal farming industry, meat, dairy, and eggs, they have to eat. So this is one thing. So the first thing is that by eating animals, you're actually contributing to all of these deaths in the plant agriculture and in plant farming. Plus, you are killing more animals by choosing to not only eat plants, because most omnivores will have plants and animal products, and you choose to kill the animals directly when you don't need to, because you can only eat the plants, right? So you're already doing worse by acting this way. On the other side, when you eat an animal, you also contribute to the whole process, just like vegans contribute to crop deaths. All right, you as a carnivore are also eating all that the animal had to eat in order to get to his slaughtering age. Or if it's a dairy cow, this dairy cow will have to eat while she is alive and giving milk, which is usually like 4 years. So in fact, more than 50%, and I'm trying to be conservative here, because most numbers will tell you 60, 75%. It depends on what grain you were talking about, but let's stay conservative. But more than 50% of the crops, 50% is definitely too conservative. Like more than 60% of the plant crops in the world are fed to animals like cows, chickens, and pigs in order to produce animal products. So if you would be vegan, you would still contribute to less of these crop deaths. Do I have another one in me? I don't know. Let's see. I'll try it. Okay, but I wanna, I do want to go back to the beginning, because we can talk about, these different aspects of these arguments, but the principle and the initial definition should be the key. Because if you look at, the argument as being vegan, which is not exploiting animals and choose to eat plants, okay, abuses and kills less animals than abusing animals and kill them for food, it's obvious that this point is stupid. Now we need to look at veganism as a growth and awakening of society within a society that is has been built on suffering, war, injustices, right? So all of these things, they don't just disappear, and you know, like, we are a society built on ego and being selfish. So veganism is trying to dismantle this ego, but we're still living in a society that is anthropocentric, so humans always first, no matter what, even though there are not good justifications, all right, and things could be done in another way, but you know, we destroy the environment and we kill animals for the wrong reason, just because we come first. Whatever is our desire, we come first. Okay, so veganism is trying to change that, but at the same time, we live in this world. We live in this world, and as vegans, even though we would like everything to be perfect, we do not want crop deaths. We would prefer not to have pesticides and have ways of growing plants that reduce suffering. That's not the case. It's not practical. It's impossible not to imply those practices into your lifestyle, especially if you live in a city. All right, so you can get closer to those things, but it's definitely not practical. And here I want to go into the people that talk about regenerative farming, right, or hunting. Oh, but I kill one cow, and you know, like, I only buy meat from you know, this regenerative farming, which is like very good for the environment. There's no pesticides, no crop deaths, which is not true, because these people probably have to behave like the farmers that we were talking about before, that they might kill some foxes and some wolves in order to protect their chickens, stuff like that. Was good. Right, so, and you know, they may be right. They may be right, but that doesn't mean that because of these people that do this, therefore veganism is wrong. We need to do our best, considering our situation and our possibilities and what's practical for us. Because again, veganism is like an awakening, and being vegan is like waking up in a pile of shit and realizing that you want to live somewhere else because you don't like living in shit. But you look around and there's shit everywhere. So you might be able to find a house that smells better, or maybe not, because there's shit everywhere. So to these people, what I say is, if you would care about animals and you want to make a change, if you actually care about animals, then, and you live in these places where there is farmers close to you and, you know, you can buy organics and all this stuff, you know, why buying animal products? And at this point, these people will talk about the fact that vegans are malnourished and you cannot get everything from plants. Oh, I don't want to supplements all my life, you know, all of this bullshit. And here is when, you know, I realized that these people really are not there to learn and not there to have a smart debate. They're just there to debunk veganism because they you know, they're weak-minded people. They just want to be accepted by the majority, and they don't care about doing something good. They just want to feel good. That's definition of being weak. So yeah, you know, like I agree. I agree. You might even doing better than me, like by, you know, killing only one cow. You know, even though like these people just use this as an hypothetical argument, because the reality is they would then go to restaurants and, you know, don't care about where the meat come from. Go to make the McDonald's. You know, these people just make these hypotheticals because they're annoyed that there is someone that truly care about making the world a better place. They don't want to change. They might not realize they're doing something wrong, but they don't want to change. They don't want to be told that they're doing something wrong, and so they keep making up things that don't really make sense in order to make you feel bad, or trying to debunk veganism. I think we're good, yeah. Right, that makes sense. I think the light is not very good here. Let me put you in a better spot. So that's what they do. They just try to mock veganism. They don't really care because, you know, if you would care about doing, like, for me, like being vegan was a strong duty, going vegan, right? Like changing something had a very strong feeling of duty. Right, I wasn't sure about what I was doing in the beginning, right? There was less information 5 years ago, but I knew that was the right thing to do. I wasn't sure, as I am right now, that being vegan is healthy and, you know, nothing happens. It's actually healthier to be vegan. But I tried, and here's the thing: like most most of these people, they don't really allow themselves to try, because here's the thing, like, even though you truly believe, veganism might be malnourishing and not good for the body, but at the same time, you do care about animals. You do think that it's wrong to put animals in gas chambers, taking away their childs, breeding them with the only purpose of enslaving them, torturing and killing them. Wouldn't you give it a try? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, it's like when you do something good for yourself, right? Maybe you are not this person that is highly motivated to work out, right? You're not really into sports. You really don't like it, but it's going to really, really benefit you, because there are things that in your life that actually are going down because your fitness is not on a good point, in a good position. So what do? You try anyway. And maybe it doesn't work for you. Of course, like, fitness is like going in a direction of health. But what I'm pointing out here is, like, if you care about something, you try. You don't just make up excuses, because I could, you can look at this stupid carnivore that shows you unhealthy vegans and ex-vegans, which, obviously is all bullshit, because yes, there are unhealthy vegans, so what? For every unhealthy vegans, there is probably 1,000 unhealthy non-vegans. So it's not like because one is vegan, then is magically a genius and is like disease proof. So you can look at these stupid examples, which are very limited, or you can look at good example. Look, this vegan is doing right. Like, he's fit, he's healthy. Like, maybe it is possible, but no, these people close their eyes and they just want to think that being vegan is unhealthy, because they don't want to make any change. Fuck. And here's the thing, like, another pointer about crop debts, crop protection, right? So again, as I said before, we live in a society that doesn't care, mostly. We rather destroy everything because it's the easier thing to do to get the benefits that we want, rather than thinking of more sustainable way, more ethical way to do things. Overall, this is the mindset that we are living in. Correct? Let me know what you think in the comments, by the way, about all I'm saying today. But at the same time, I think that humans, all right, when I think of God, I don't believe in God, but I think humans are God. We are the gods. We have the power of making friends with lions, okay? Who the fuck does that? I mean, it happens sometimes in nature that there is cross species friendship, but it's very rare. Like we can make everything better, but we have decided to destroy everything instead. So here's the thing. I think we as humans, we have the power to protect animals. We have the power to protect the environment, but we also have the power and the right to evolve as a species. I don't know if you're a vegan and you agree or not with me. Like a lot of vegans say, "Oh, we should disappear," and I mean, like, you got a point. But at the same time, I think we should definitely do things better, the way we treat animals, the planet, and other humans. But at the same time, we have as a species the right to evolve, and if evolving means building skyscrapers, it's fine, as long as we find a way of doing these things without destroying everything. Okay, so and there is something I want to say now related to this about the agriculture. So here's the thing, like it's protecting crops and using pesticides to protect crops, I don't think is bad. Like especially as of right now, I want farmers to find better way and more ethical ways to make sure that we have food. We have plant food, but as of right now, this is what we have, and I'm okay with it. And as a vegan, I don't have the power to actually change the world. As an animal rights activist, what I can do is having conversation with people and change the way people think, so they stop destroying everything when we want to get some benefit, and we try and do things more ethically. But as of right now, but in general as well, protecting my food, protecting my home, it is a good justification to kill an animal. All right? If an animal tries to attack me, I will have to defend myself. All right? Let's say I was a farmer. And I have my plants. What would I do? Well, I would make sure that animals cannot even get in my freaking garden. This is what I would do. This is exactly what I would do. Or, I don't know, here's the thing, like people, these anti-vegans have conversation with me, with you, like I have all the answers. I don't. I just try to do my best and trying to avoid animal exploitation whenever practical and possible, based on where I live. As I said before, we live surrounded by shit. We live surrounded by animal abuse. You're going to paint your house And you didn't know that inside of that paint there is dairy, and that's true actually. They put freaking dairy in paints. So I don't know, like I would find, if it was me, I would find a way of not harming animals during my in my plant agriculture. Maybe instead of only protecting my food, I would actually give food to the wild animals around. I would create something where they can go and eat, so they don't want to get inside and steal my stuff. I can buy some cheap food for them instead of them getting all my hard worked, vegetables. Just an example. I'm just trying to navigate this thing with you. Nope. We're done with this. All right. So, where are we? Oh, I just hit with my foot the weight. Shit. Ah, that was painful. So going back to the problem, the problem with these people is that they're just trying to mock veganism, but they don't truly want to. It's not, when you talk with these anti-vegans and carnivores, it's not a true debate about how to limit animal exploitation. It's more a debate on how can I make up an argument to make myself feel good about exploiting animals. Because, after all these, because I had this conversation with a guy on the comments on one of my posts, and at some point I asked him, look, mate, like, all right, I understand the hypocrisy, right? I do think it's not the same to kill animals for crop protection and accidental crop deaths, which, by the way, accidental crop deaths is absolute bullshit. If you don't know that, like, animals don't die accidentally, especially rodents and snakes. They, first of all, they hear the huge machines and they go away. Second of all, I've seen a video of these huge tractors collecting like grains, and there's actually so much space below the thingy that they wouldn't even be able to catch a rat or a snake. It would just pass, would just go down there. So like accidental crop deaths is bullshit. Like, but obviously there's pesticides and these some farmers will kill animals to protect their crops, even though that's not the case all the time. I do. Here's something that I want to add. Oh fuck! I didn't put the weights on. Something that I want to add is that like having conversations with people about veganism in the street, showing them animal farming industry practices, what I've noticed is that farmers, people that work in slaughterhouses, they're usually the one that don't actually make excuses, you know? They are the one that kind of, they know they're doing something wrong, but that's all they know. That's all they know. Just like most of us before going vegan, all we know is meat, dairy, and egg. So here's the thing. I also don't believe that all of these farmers out there, they are happy to fucking kill all the animals around to protect their land. You know what I mean? I just don't believe that to be a thing. And a few months ago, I was actually passing by a field because I was going up to the mountains. And I usually don't see field because I live in a city, right? But I was thinking, what is this people talking about? Like the fields were just peaceful. There was no animals, like the way carnivores and anti-vegan present this argument is like there is a hunter all the time around the field killing animals, bam, 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 and slaughtering them all like it's a fucking genocide. But that's just simply not true. That's not what happens. Was 9, kept the first one easy. But anyway, so with this guy, I accepted my hypocrisy. I was like, man, you're right. What I'm doing might be useless and may be hypocrisy, but let's say you are me and you want to save the 3 trillion animals that die every year in the meat, dairy, and egg industry and all the industry of animal products. What should I do? Should I not be vegan and keep consuming animal products? Would that be the solution? And so he just went on and just say that I didn't answer any questions, but honestly, I did answer. I said the same thing that I told you today. I didn't hide things. But fucking no smart answer coming out of him. 5 years vegan. Getting leaner, by the way, I think. Anyway, how many reps did I do last week? 10. I've done 9 for my first one. Oh. At the end of the day, guys, this is a message for the vegans. Don't. So, what I suggest when you get into these kind of arguments is that you address a couple of times their objections. And if you see that they're not willing to progress, but they're just jumping from one excuse to another, especially if those excuses obviously, don't make sense, you gotta leave the conversation because it's not going to be a real point to continue. This person is not going to go vegan. On the other side, though, if you are with more than one people, usually the troll is only one. And it happens to me actually this weekend doing activism. Ooh. 11. Gotta recover the missed repetition. Why did I put 12 years? Ah, no, that was last week. Okay. So this week I'm doing activism with Anonymous for the Voiceless. I organized a cube, but there was some problem with the police because, I didn't ask the things the way they wanted, even though we don't really need to ask anything because we don't occupy, the street with any any material, and we are less than 20, and these are the real rules in Spain. But every town make things up. So the police has been so quickly, like I just set things up, and 3 minutes later they were already there. So I think no one called them, and they were just passing by, I believe. But a lot of people stopped, and I had the opportunity to talk with a couple. And I was talking with the girl. It's like, have you ever seen these videos? And she was like, no, what do you think about them? Like, they're very horrible. I think they were looking at cow slaughterhouse, dairy cows being slaughtered. I was like, yeah, like, are you against animal cruelty? It's like, yes, of course. And do you think it's possible to be against animal cruelty and pay for these things to happen to animals? She's like, no, well, I don't think so. And so what do you think is the solution? And she's like, I guess eliminating animal products. All right, cool. So what would stop you from being vegan? She's like, oh, I really like ham. And all right, I get it. But do you think pleasure justifies being violent towards animals? And she's like, no, I don't think so. Sounds good. And then I went to the boyfriend. And I was like, what do you think? And he didn't even make any point. He just said, oh, I really like my steak. I'm not going to stop eating steak. I like it. So you understand what I mean? What I said before is that, yes, I mean, if you have this kind of people that really is unreachable, it doesn't listen to you, it makes up excuses, it's stupid, it's selfish, it's irrational, it just doesn't want to go vegan, you want to leave the conversation. But if you are with more people, it's likely that this guy is the only troll, is the only people that kind of have the courage to make these dumb arguments to justify animal cruelty. And if you get him to be as stupid as possible in front of these other people might, might completely don't relate to this guy and be like, what? I mean, you're justifying animal cruelty with plants feel pain too? Come on, bro, like, obviously plants don't feel pain. Like, what are you talking about? The guy's talking about animals being pushed in gas chambers and they're screaming for their life, and then they get decapitated. Like, and so if you have this troll, but with people around them, I suggest you keep addressing his objections. Fuck. It's not happening. Oh, something happened in my neck though. Ugh. Right, almost there. Like, for example, Joey Armstrong, unfortunately, had to face this situation directly on television with Piers Morgan. You might have seen that. Piers Morgan always come up with, oh, what about, you vegans don't care about the bees being killed for almonds, or your avocados polluting the world because it's being transported from wherever, South America to wherever, like, how can you be so stupid that you don't know what's the objection to that? Like, how do you know that if you do want to be a better vegan, the solution is not buying imported stuff? Just try to eat organics and local, right? So I don't know, these people are just very stupid. Or I am very smart. All right. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share it, and I'll see you in the next episode of the CALIVEGAN podcast.